entrances and all to have your events here. Some of you haven't raised your hand yet. Good. How many of you here have had an event here in this building? Not a lot. Okay. Okay. What about the pool size that needs to have a multiple amount of activities occurring here for everybody? It is heated. It just costs a lot. Okay, that's a pretty good amount. More pool hours. Okay. About where the pool and the beach and the whole area kind of feel like it's all integrated together. Struck another chord. Okay. And then the size and scale, how big or small or nothing is going to happen over here. How important is that?
Try to rephrase my question.
All right. How many of you have noticed the functional issues in this building here that have been up in here? Some of you? So you're not aware of some of the situations in here when the building got built? You're not aware of some of the issues that when the building got constructed here? It's still under, between contractor and architect and the city. There are ongoing discussions. Excuse me?
I said the building you helped to design.
I did not design this building at all. One bit. I was brought in as a green consultant, for y'all's information, okay? I was brought in as a green consultant to help collect the water off this roof. What did they design? Go outside and take a look. It just spurts off the side onto you if you're walking by. If we don't have any downspouts, there might be a couple back, but it goes nowhere. Do we put any solar up here? No. Did we do anything where it's more efficient about the walls? No. These doors and all are very inefficient. They leak like crazy. They had to do all kinds of things. That's a problem. That wasn't my issue. And you know it, Ms. Jennings. Not one bit. In fact, that was the value engineering. The value engineering. Taken out. Why? Because you can't build 4 pieces like this for the price of 3. That's exactly what happened here. Correct. They are, but they do because the city asked, the ITN is about that. The city asked to help us with the management, the redesign, possibly expansion of this area. You read the slide. Well, let's slide back up. This is right from the ITN. Hard to read. If you can turn the lights down a second back there, somebody. The city of Lake Worth. Get your head out of the way, John. John, I did. Is thrilled to be moving forward with expansion of our lovely beach complex. The city is seeking sealed replies from full offers to commence negotiations regarding offers to manage, maintain, operate, redesign, renovate, expand, equip, and or implement creative ventures at the newly renovated Lake Worth Beach Complex and Casino is verbatim from the ITN advertisement that was sent out. That's not our words. Is there any confusion about that? And the reason that was is because what I was just saying. There's a lot of issues here. So to do nothing, it will go down with, in fact, in the budget that had been going on for the last few years, there was really not much money in there for repair and replacement. I know. So that's why we're here. And we'd like to ask you for your ideas tonight. Right? Are we ready to offer ideas of how to address some of the issues? Yes? Okay. So, you're up. Ideas.
Tracy, 331 South Lakeside Web. I just want to hear the overall vision and design that may be proposed, or even just the vision of Mr. Michaels. And I mean, right on the front page of the Lake Worth website, it states some real specifics about our city, that we have a very strong social and environmental conscience, that our buildings contribute to the human scale and charm, other people have spoken to that, and that our artistic soul adds to the downtown. And I would like to hear his vision of how all of this would work, complementing what our city already has on its website that we believe we are as a city.
Good question.
Escape. I don't know. Hear that?
Well, okay, thank you. Our vision, and why we came to Lake Worth, is because Lake Worth has an enormous amount of potential. It's a great city. It has a wonderful downtown. We have a wonderful beachfront. We have a great venue on the water for music. And our vision is to renovate and to bring back the hotel, the Gulfstream Hotel, to what it was. This is why we're following all the standards of historic tax credits. We want to bring back the restaurants. We want to bring back the bars. We own and operate our restaurants, our bars, our hotels. We want to bring a great sustainable flag to the hotel that will never change the name, but we want to bring a good reservation system. And what we want to do at the beach, again, is just invest money to make it sustainable and make it as best as we can. Right now, Nicole was kind enough to tell me about her 125 students that are swimming here. What happens when the city, because of a budget shortfall, runs out of money and they have to close the pool? I don't want to see that happen. I don't think anybody else wants to see that happen. If we can invest money to make the pool a more sustainable pool, more sustainable for everybody, not just for our hotel, but for everybody, that invested money goes a long way. We heard a question, why are we investing in the beach and why aren't we investing in the downtown? Because it starts with the amenities. We're building a hotel, we're building the amenities, we want to drive people to come to Lake Worth and to want to stay in Lake Worth. The unintended or intended consequences will be a much more vibrant and much more healthy downtown without empty stores. Right now, we're in an economic cycle that's doing very well, a real estate cycle that's doing really well. There's no reason we should have any empty stores. We should be completely full. This is a great downtown. There's no reason for that. So my vision is to create and to help create. I'm not going to be we're just one of the economic impacts that will help drive other investment into the city.
Okay, hold on. You got a question back here, John.
An idea.
Oh, idea.
I have an idea.
Yes, an idea.
My name is Edgar. I'm on 1616 North Lakeside. And my question is, you just mentioned the pool, and that's the only area you plan on renovating. Is that going to be enough? Is there more you can do? I'm in full agreement that you have to.
What would you do with the pool?
I don't know. I think you need to add more to this pool.
Add more to the pool?
Yes, we can't.
Make the
I
pool
think this is small. This is built, yes, I believe it's small. This is probably built 100 years ago when Lake Worth was half its size, and now we're twice as much, twice as big, and I think we need more. I think you have that parking area right next to the pool. Is that a bridge, I mean? That could be developed. You can add
What about the pool building itself? Would you change it, would you leave it, would you
Oh, the bathrooms are
renovate it?
like 100 years old. You can barely use them. The place is falling apart. The only part I think is the pool. I love that pool.
So you would like to see it improve?
Oh,
You'd
absolutely.
like to see a restaurant maybe there, maybe another restaurant, something that makes... Well,
I believe you.
That's what we're looking to hear. We're looking
You need to make more money to be able to maintain it, otherwise we're going to end up where we had before.
Fantastic.
You can barely run the pool half a week. Clean and short.
Yeah, other than that we would like to, we want to double the hours.
Guys,
Hi, first I want to thank you for having this for us tonight and allowing everyone to have their ideas instead of having this a pitch session. I think that personally, I would love to see Lake Worth grow and they have a phenomenal opportunity with restaurants and things that people can do. I mean, right now, what do we have? We have a few restaurants, we have a few shops. I think these people are coming in with phenomenal ideas. They make the pool bigger. That's a phenomenal idea with your students. I think it's great. And instead of having this a whole bitch session or anything, it should be ideas.
That girl.
They're going to do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So what Brian is more restaurants. Let's love it.
All right, Kevin, we have a question. Steve, she would like to know why we don't start with just the pool, something that maybe not be working, and get that done first, and then go on from there. Is that correct? Is that right?
Yeah, you said it right. My understanding, I'm Liz Flynn, I live on Gulfstreet Street, South Gulf Street. From my understanding for many, many years is that the pool, this whole site is not sustaining itself. And that seems to be the biggest problem. And it usually falls on what people want the most. And to be simple about it, I guess what I need to say is, why doesn't the pool advertise? Why doesn't the pool reach out to other people, other communities? Why don't we ask for volunteers, for people to come in and do certain things? I mean, I understand that this is the largest Olympic-sized pool on the eastern seaboard. There are some really wonderful qualities about being there. And why can't people, and also, how do you guys work with the city of Lake Worth in order to establish what actual monies are going where, who's making these rules? And somebody needs to get together and formulate this. They do it at AquaQuest Pool, they do it at other pools. There's all kinds of pools where I've taken training for triathlons, and they have all these things already set up. And I have a lot of other ideas about that. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, see,
That's a great question. Okay, that's a great question. I think you're saying, number one, why don't we work with the pool? Why don't we improve the pool? I think we do have issues with the pool that we'd like to improve. Number one, the efficiency. It's 40 years old, so the age of that pool drives it. It has a lot of maintenance issues. It's one of the reasons why the shortfall is in the beachfront complex. It's primarily the pool. The pool is losing almost $300,000 a year. Why? Because it's not efficient. It's not efficient. As you said, it's not properly managed and advertised. Can we get more swimmers to the pool? That'd be great. If we can get more users to the pool, we would love to see that. We have to make it desirable for them to come. The reason why a lot of swimmers move from location to location is because of the quality of the complex. We would like to. We're here for your input.
Okay, real quick, who manages it, and how can we get involved?
The city currently.
How can we help how can we help get involved in managing?
The answer for the pool is, the city, I don't know if they're going to put the pool, but we've tried to do many things at the pool to generate money. They just are not receptive to it. We've tried to put together programs, we've tried to do fundraisers, we've tried to have events there. They just will not allow it. So the city runs the pool. The aquatic department at the city.
Who is that?
There's no reason. No longer works there, there's a new person.
Let these guys in their forward thinking, and then we can do something with the pool and where it stands now. There's no progress can be made. I'm all for it.
we have an idea over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try to get to every single one of you, but you guys doing this is like pushing a button on an elevator and it's going to come and eat that. So we're going to...
Two quick clarifications. ITN, invitation to negotiate. For those of you who are asking around, I know that was one of the questions, right? Which was a flexible system to say, an RFP is a request for a proposal, very, very specific and narrow. And I think our city manager explained it a while ago that an ITN gives you a lot more latitude to say compare apples, bananas, and oranges. An RFP is apples for apples, okay? What was the other one? I think a flag. A flag is, right, is it a specific type of name for a hotel?
The hotel flag is the hotel brand. We call it flag in industry. So, you know, we are negotiating to bring the best hotel flag. It doesn't change the name. It'll be named Gulfstream. We want to maintain the name for historic reasons, and we would love to have a hotel flag that will drive reservations to make it more sustainable and bring more business to them.
Okay, real quick, on a couple of other things is, you know, you talk about using a swimming pool and using this. If you have the hotel functioning, if you have these meeting rooms functioning, people have conferences during the week. That's when they're not even here. The parking lot's empty. People have things in the summertime in parts during the week. What can happen when you have a vibrant hotel? They can bring activities and events for the businesses here, the businesses downtown that you are missing out on right now. And we have Dave fired, let go, lots of people at Dave's restaurant when the Gulfstream closed down. So this is a lot about jobs and getting people back on. Yes?
My name is Laurel Robinson. I live on Ocean Breeze in Lake Worth. And this is not about the pool, but it's an idea about maybe a major redesign of how this all looks and functions. The issue with the upper deck, people parking here, the traffic going in and out. One solution may be to get rid of the parking that goes on here and come up with a marvelous kind of a design where all the parking would be in the back and you have an accessible route coming off of that parking. So from here to the ocean is a pedestrian park-like setting. I'm thinking of Hollywood. They have the Broad Walk, and it's totally pedestrian. It's lovely. It's a destination in and of itself. And you don't have any issues with parking and looking at cars, and it gives you a wonderful vista. That's my point.
Thank you, Laurel. I don't know if you're talking about, there's an obligation the city has to maintain 620 or 30 some spaces with a very specific number. So if we take away these up here, they have to get replaced somewhere else. And are you talking about a parking garage? All right.
Okay, great. That's another idea.
Hi there. I've listened to 2 or 3 presentations from you guys, and I am seriously interested in getting to the end of the slides and seeing bigger pictures on exactly what footprint you intend to occupy on the beach, maybe an overlay of what's currently here compared to what you want to put here. I'd like to see, maybe on the website as well, just more, because I want to know what you guys are planning, so I know, like the one on the other side of the room said, do I like it or not? I haven't actually seen a lot of details.
Well, okay, so we're here for your ideas. We want to hear from you. Our last presentation to the city is actually on the city website. I believe it's on our website. If not, we'll make sure we get it to you. But we're also here to listen to you. Maybe that needs to be redesigned. Maybe that needs to be changed. We want to hear from the public. We want to hear from the residents. We want to get your ideas. So we do have a last presentation we made. I have a strong suspicion after tonight we're going to rethink and we're going to hear from your comments. And we may make some changes to what we would propose, because we want to propose and we want to come to an end game that everybody's happy with. So I can show you. You certainly have access to our conceptual plan, but we're here to make sure we get to the final one and we find the one that everybody's happy.
Teresa Miller, 290 North Lakeside. First of all, thank you for being here this evening. Secondly, I just wanted to say, I live over by the golf course, Bradley's Beach Club. You're not a member, you just show up, you're here saying it. So it's one of those wonderful terms that sounds good, but it's public. And finally, Laurel, thank you very much. We all, as I understand it, Hannaford we were renovating a structure when we ripped it down, so it stayed on the same footprint, which forced us to have the traffic in the front. If anything can be done about that, because I do see many people who are disabled, older than me, and have trouble getting across with the traffic. If the walkway sounds lovely, and also a multi-level lot like the one in Miami that's become a destination. I think it's on, I don't know, it's Collins Avenue, Lincoln Road, and they're actually having weddings there because it's so cool. Just my thoughts. Thank you.
Judith Just, 36 North Lakeside. I would like to see in the pool area even more of a spa atmosphere. We have mineral band, make it a destination area.
Dorothy Grindle, Sunset Drive, Lake Road. Two suggestions. We used to have Lolly the Trolley. We used to have a way for people who don't have a car or don't want to come by car to get to the beach. And that would take care of a lot of people further west. Lolly's Trolley was wonderful. The second thing that drives me nuts is when you're in the pool area, you don't see the ocean. If there's possibly any way to take this horrible building blocking the view of the ocean from the pool and put it in the back, I think a lot more people would know the pool's even there. But a lot of people who just drive around here, they don't even know there's a pool here. So
We must have talked to our designer about this. Because our design was actually to remove the south end of the building so that the pool has a view of the ocean, because it's absolutely devastating. The pool doesn't have a view of the ocean. And the idea of the street, if we had a redesign plan, we could redesign the road, we could redesign the access to the park, and not have, as it's a very good point, not have traffic between our building, our cafes, and the pool. Very good.
Okay, are we good? Okay.
Hi, my name's Talia. I'm at 301 South Bay. Sorry. So because we have so many churches in town, perhaps we could use some of those parking lots that are often vacant to use for church parking, and then use some kind of trolley or shuttle or something to use that for the beach, at least for people who are in town.
I think that's a great idea as well. I can't tell you that certainly what we can do and what we will do is we'll have parking in the hotel that will have shuttles. We're going to have shuttle service at least to and from the beach, hopefully to and from the downtown as well, to the end of the downtown, so that people can, even if residents can come to park or walk to the hotel, and they can come to the beach without having to pay $2 an hour for parking, which is also insane.
Hi everybody, my name is Nick Nardone. My wife and I were the first owners and current residents in the Urban Arts Lofts on Lake and Lucerne. I'm currently the president of the HOA over there. We might be the youngest people here. I don't know if that's but thanks for the event.
Thank you.
Thanks for the cheese. Great. We're really excited about this project. When I got the little postcard in the mail a couple days ago, it was really exciting seeing the forecasted blueprint. I really love the young lady's idea for the more Hollywood type experience. You know, we've very often been dining down there and some guy drives by on his Harley with open exhaust and it's really loud and obnoxious. It'd be killer to move all the parking into maybe a larger garage in the back and make this a walkway area for cyclists and whatnot.
Perfect. Again, this is exactly, these are the things we want to hear. We want to hear how would you change the parking? How would you change the streetscape, the access? I agree, having a road right in between your restaurant experience and the ocean, which is 50 feet approximately, is great.
Sure. And yeah, like many others said, the building blocking the beach view from the pool is just crazy. Now, when my wife and I first moved here, We thought, wow, Lake Worth has a pool on the beach. That's great for people who don't want to get sand in their toes and whatnot and still want to swim and have the breeze. And we came down here, once we experienced, you couldn't even see the water. It really killed the whole idea for us. So that would be killer. And we love the idea of more restaurants, some single location, privately owned places, bring some more craft beer into the city. We'd love to see a brewery pop up sometime soon. We're going to fight for a craft brewery. But we're really excited and we hope you guys do some cool stuff.
Thank you. 100% hopefully it's one of the things that we did propose is a valet parking structure that is free valet, but it allowed people to come to the beach, come to the restaurants, come to the pool, to drop their car instead of running back and forth all the time to put money in the meter. They can just pay the same amount, which I also think is a little bit too high. $2 an hour is sort of ridiculous, but again, the city has a budget at the beach. They have to meet the budget. They're either going to cut costs or find ways of increasing revenue. So that's an unintended consequence again as we want to avoid. We don't want to see parking go up. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help anybody. It's in nobody's best interest to pay exorbitant pay parking rates that are uncompetitive in the market.
How many of you, if you were not going to pay any more money to park here, would use a valet down here? How many would use a valet? 100%. Wouldn't cost you any more. You still have to pay for parking, but you wouldn't have to wait around and find a space. Be more efficient. The decals and residents have to stay. They're going to stay. I think recently they split up. Some of them were over here and some of them were over there.
Chase Box, 9 North 8th Street. Thanks everybody for sticking around to listen, because it seems like we're getting somewhere here. Okay. Regarding the use of the pool, if the pool is not seeing its maximum potential used, I used to work in real estate, and the CTO on the pool is pretty bad, I imagine.
CTO.
The cash throw out. So why, and if that is a really major concern, and it is rightly a concern because that's something we do need in our community, why wouldn't that whole space be developed for more retail? And wait a second though, well, stand down, please. We're listening. So the idea would be that if it isn't a deal breaker, why wouldn't we just build 2 separate pools in the north or the south and on the other side in town, where families can actually go and enjoy those? I mean, if it's a public and private partnership, and that's losing money, that space over there, wouldn't it make sense that we have a pool on the north end and the south end, if that